All right, what's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Razor Radio's 501st show. That was
Absolutely.
Dressed the Dead with Knives Out. And we got Chris from Eldon and slash SS Silent Scream joining us this week. Uh, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me on here.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Dude, I'm stoked. I didn't even know you were in a new project until you hit me up. So I was like, fuck yeah,
Yeah,
let's get him
I didn't
on
know
and
anything
talk
about it.
shop.
Yeah.
And
Well, it was
it's
it
it.
was a little bit of a quarantine project.
Mm
It started slightly before that. It actually, to go way back, it started about 10 years ago or more,
hmm.
and it kind of got on hold for a long time just because if you listen to there's a song on the track called Here Today Gone to Chino, and
I love it.
if
Yeah,
you
Chino. Yeah, I listened to that
yeah,
today.
if you listen to the lyrics, you'll understand why one of the members was missing for many years, so the project was on hold. Let's just say that.
That works.
Nice way of
Yeah,
saying it. Well, dude, so you said it's a quarantine
He was
project.
in Chino, in other words. I got
yeah.
it.
And I mean, I got to ask this as well, why not put some of that energy into, the new Silent Scream? And I'm just going to say it, make a record now instead of doing an EP because of the time
Well,
off. Because the last time I
yeah,
talked to you, it was supposedly going to be out the next year. And then next year came and nothing. And then the next year came and then
yeah,
nothing. So,
It's a
uh,
different genre of music, to tell the truth.
yeah, and it's a whole nother story.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, this, like I said, this actually goes back pretty far, and all these guys from the band Eldon, a few of them were in a band called Payaso out of Orange County, which I'm not sure if you're
I
familiar with
think I've
them.
heard of Payaso.
They've been around for a
Uh,
long time. And I met those guys probably close to 20 years ago when I owned a recording studio over in Orange County. They came in and recorded a few CDs with me. And I just really liked what they did. And then I ended up in Payaso briefly. I always felt more of, though, like a producer or an engineer in Payaso than a guitar player. Even when I played live with them, I just felt like I was more the engineer. Whereas in this project, I felt more like a guitar player, although I produced and mixed this project as well. But um, I felt more as a guitar player this time than in Payaso. But Payaso was already its own thing, it was its own beast, if you will.
didn't they
So
used to play with like Manic Hispanic and like the Cadillacs? They're kind of like an elder statesman type band. Payaso.
Payaso?
Yeah.
No. Danny, the singer, who's also the singer of Eldon,
Okay.
he's good friends. He's been in that circle for a long, long time,
That's
so he
deep,
knows all
deep
those
punk
guys.
rock roots.
Yeah, he knew Gabby really well, and he goes way back. Rick Agnew, he's been good friends with all those guys for a long time, and kind of that Orange County punk rock scene.
Cool. I mean, that's deep roots right there, man.
Yeah.
absolutely. To follow up, dude, I got to keep asking, man. Go for that full length. I'm just saying.
Oh, Silent Scream.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, after the Eldon thing got released, I think they got fired up a little bit and went, "Hey, so what?"
Over
Patrick
here.
wrote me, and he goes, "Hey, so is our album going to sound as good as the Eldon did?" I go, "Yeah, if we finish it." I said, "All you guys need to do is show up. Let's do it." So it's
So
just
these were
been
both.
slow. I'm sorry.
Eldon was done in your studio at home there, right?
Yeah, except for the drums. My buddy Dave Casey, he has a home studio, but when I say home studio, it's not like this is a home studio.
Yeah,
Dave pretty
he's
much
got
has a
a real
full
studio.
blown studio in his house. Yeah. So we recorded the drums there, and then all the guitars, bass, everything was recorded here. And actually, the vocals were recorded at Danny's place in his closet. So yeah,
Closet,
it was definitely a
closet,
quarantine.
closet crunch.
Yeah,
Dude,
for sure.
so I gotta ask, this project's been around for what you said, 10 plus years at this point.
In the planning stage.
In the planning stages, right? But I'm kind of curious, the style of how did you guys determine on what style you wanted this project to specifically be in? Because now that you're in, you're in Science Scream and have been for a while now. But I'm saying,
Mm.
how did you determine what style you guys wanted to go, as opposed to say not doing playing in like another death metal band, or because this is more of a punk kind of style for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up with both. I love punk rock. I love metal. I love all music, really. There's not anything that I really hate, but we didn't really decide on a style. It was just Danny actually writes a majority of the music, and that's just what comes out of them. Two of the songs, Mental Rosa and Art of Self-Deception, were written by Aaron Mendoza, the other guitar player, and Jesse Watt, the bass player. And they brought those in to the table, basically. Danny and I started this, years ago when I was still kind of in and out of Payaso, and he brought me Chino right after he got out of Chino. And we went and recorded a rough scratch track of that and a couple other songs. Stomp was pretty old too. Stomp goes way back, probably about 10 years or so. And then he had Godless and Goodbye. Those were all songs from a long time ago. And then the other two guys brought in Art of Self-Deception and Mental Rosa. But
speaking of the Art of Self-Deception, why don't we listen to it right now, Tanner, on
Razor Radio?
1, 2, 3. All right, that was Silent Scream right there. Chris's other band was Rise and Fall, and in between that, we heard Sonoma County's own Insanity Puppets with Just Walk Away from 1990. That was a little more hardcore punk in there that I dig. But the Art of Self-Deception, great opening track. I really dig it. And
cool, thank you.
The Silent Scream album that came out when? I knew we talked about it last time you guys came down to Razor.
92.
92, yeah. That's right.
But the reason why we played that song, Andy, is because I believe Chris actually had a hand in writing the song, which
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the only, I think that was the only one on that record, because I think I left in 90 originally, Silent Scream. Patrick and I started the band and went through some lineup changes. A lot of lineup changes. And then, and then by the time the album came out, I think Rise and Fall was the only song left that I had written or co-wrote with Mario. Actually, Mario came up with the idea originally, and then I just started adding in some parts here and there. But yeah.
But yeah, it's a good track. I just wanted to throw it out there for you because you had a hand in writing it.
Oh, thanks.
I still wish you played on it, but we'll get to that soon enough.
Oh, we're going to talk Silent Scream too, huh?
Well, no, in a couple days we'll talk about it. But I'm just kind of curious, walk me through just trying to find the artwork for the Eldon Project and how you guys came, to I don't know, decide on what the album cover should be.
Oh, that was Danny. Quite honestly, by the time I finished the production and the mixing and I got it off to mastering, I was done for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't think about it for a while. It really, I went through a week even of like, oh, it sounds like shit. Nobody's going to like this. You just, and then by the time it finally was released on iTunes and Spotify and everything, and I just put it on and listened to it for the sake of listening instead of scrutinizing, is the vocal loud enough in this part, or is the snare drum, all that shit.
Without being critical.
Then I just loved it. And I was just like, okay, this is cool. Then I got excited again. And by that time, we needed to get artwork done. And pretty much Danny took care of that. He gets into that mode. He gets into more of the social media stuff than I do. Artwork, all that kind of thing. That's his kind of area. And then the other guys too. And then we all just kind of went, yeah, okay. And then the name changed actually literally days before we released it, the name of the band.
Oh, really? What was the name of the band before that?
I don't know if I ever want to say, actually.
Okay. No, you don't have to.
Well, Eldon was the original name that we wanted to call it years ago. When we transitioned from, is this going to be new Payaso record? And then we went, let's just do a whole new thing. And then it became Eldon, or it was a few different things. And then we were like,
what is Eldon? Can you explain that?
Yeah. Eldon Hoke, who was the singer of the
fucking
Mentor,
El Duce.
El Duce.
El
Yeah.
Duce. Yeah, I've actually hung out with him a few times.
Danny actually lived with them.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, they were pretty good friends. And it was kind of towards the end of El Duce's life, actually.
Before he hit the train tracks, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is sad. But
it was very sad.
Growing up in the Bay Area and going to Ruthie's Inn, you couldn't not run into the Mentors. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that guy at a KMFDM show in the 90s, and it was freezing out. It was in November, and he was walking up and down the street, no shirt on, no shoes, just a pair of jeans. And you knew exactly who it was when you saw him.
He was a cartoon character.
Yeah, he was totally. But he had those little stink bombs that you throw and they break. And all I remember is, here's some perfume for you girls. And he kept throwing them at women. The guy was just, I mean, talk about a character. And that was the Eldon thing.
And you even sound like him too. How come everybody can do a fucking El Duce?
El Duce? Because you do a Bailoff, which is kind of close.
Yeah. Yeah. But so going, I'm also going to ask you this too. You know, traditionally, like I said, I didn't even know this thing came out. So I'm going to ask, you know, is there going to be a huge PR push for this? You know, to let everybody know, besides obviously this specific interview, but you know, are you doing the traditional PR campaign for this thing?
You know what? I mean, there's no label on it. There's no nothing. So we're going to do as much as we can, kind of the DIY social media way, you know, and if somebody picks it up, that'd be awesome. You know, I've worked in marketing pretty much most of my working life, more on the video production side, but you know, you get that marketing chop. So now that I'm away from the mix and everything, I'm going to jump a little bit more back into that as well and kind of get it out there as much as I can, you know, and it really just takes a little bit of advertising, of course, and a little bit of push, and stuff like this. This is really, I was excited to do this just for that fact of, you know, I like the grassroots kind of DIY vibe to everything, you know, that's what the original punk rock metal was all about, you know, when we were 15,
you'll get some,
it was that.
You'll get some people checking it out from Razor Radio for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. And he'll be doing a couple more interviews. Don't you guys worry. But also, you know, when this is only, I mean, not to downgrade this at all, but this is an EP. So I'm assuming that played some sort of part in maybe not wanting to put as much focus on it in terms of financially wise, but also on the same token too, you could have, because nobody's doing anything right now. So it'd be the perfect time to kind of put some focus or financial things into, even if it's only an EP, right?
Right. Well, the kind of the idea is to do one EP, do another EP of 4 to 6 songs. They're short songs, so it'll probably end up 5 or 6 again.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do any physical media at all. We only did digital so far. And you know, oddly enough, then we started get automatically, did you guys make CDs? I want a CD. And you know, the world is changed, but maybe not as much as we thought. I you know, maybe there's not as many people on streaming as I thought there was. So we're definitely going to make CDs, vinyl. I'm not sure. You know, we kind of
got these sent to us this week. I mean, we're getting vinyl sent to us still. You know.
Oh yeah.
So people are still buying the shit out of that. That's what you should do.
Huge. I still buy it,
especially as a punk band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 7 inches are great. If you're,
we might do a 7-inch, or I think we're going to do the CDs first, just because when we play shows, everybody wants a CD, you know, at a show. And, and now it was kind of, we put it out to see what kind of buzz there was, and, you know, do we need to make CDs? And we obviously, I think that's our next thing, is just to make some CDs. And then we're going to do a video in April, for Godless, I believe it is. That may change, but so far it's Godless and in April.
So
Okay.
When it comes to, say, getting the guys all together, are you guys that kind of a band? Is that how you like to specifically work, where you get everybody together and record, or is it because like I said, it's been a long time since that Silent Scream thing, and you guys are like in all the corners of the fucking globe, it seems. But
Yeah.
is I'm assuming that is the reason why this came out first.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot easier. Actually,
Can you
these
tell
songs.
Tanner really wants a Silent Scream album? You can tell, man.
I do.
No, it's happening.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a second, but we with the Eldon thing, it was really about the songs. Most of them have been done for, like I said, for over 10 years. So it was really just finding the people to play on it. We were having problems finding a drummer 10 years ago as well. We kept trying people out and they were just horrible. And it was just like no one. And then Ronnie,
still one of the hardest things about forming a band, period.
Yeah.
Well, then
Ronnie showed up one time back then, and we were like, oh my God, this is it. But Ronnie and Danny have known each other. They've been playing together since they were 13.
Wow.
But
that's a long time.
That's it. And I'm like, this guy's it. And then Danny disappeared. So then it ended that project.
Right?
Yeah.
I just added that to the next set too, because the story we got to play it too now. So
cool. Yeah. Well, the lyrics to it are definitely it's a true story for the most part.
Very social distortion, prison bound.
Yeah, kind of in that same vein of autobiographical.
Autobiographical.
There you go. Yeah. Not going to say that again.
Autobiographic.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Andy, let's get into it, man.
All right. This is Chino right now on
Razor Radio.
All right. That was the Bay Area's Death Wish Kid, which has got that was buried in Buried in Paradise. It's got Chris Contos from Machine Head Attitude Adjustment playing drums. It's got Mike Roberts, who used to be in Skin Lab, and it's good punk hardcore from Metal Guys. So go check that out too. And we played Stomp in that set too, because it's punk rock and they're short songs.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of the bands that you mentioned too are kind of like supergroups. We got Orange County, LA supergroup here within the punk community, and now the San Francisco's, right? So
the Death Wish Kid, yeah. Anything. I mean, Chris Contos is playing drums in Machine Head again now, and he's also playing drums in the Boneless Ones up there too. So
yeah, you can't
that's
go
cool
wrong,
stuff.
dude.
They got a new album coming out.
Everybody's a supergroup now.
Skate rock. Skate rock.
That's right.
Well, dude, especially the Bay Area, man.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Now,
speaking
Chris,
of drummers,
that's right. Now, Chris, where can people find the Eldon stuff? Obviously, you
right now
it's only
a digital copy.
Right now it's only a digital copy, but
yeah,
if people want to check it out, where can people find it?
Well, it's on iTunes, Apple Music, so you can buy it, whichever one is streaming and whichever one is paid on Apple. I forget what. So there's iTunes and Apple Music. They keep confusing me, changing the Apple Music, iTunes. I don't know which one's which anymore, but it's on both of, so you can purchase it or stream it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. And we put it up on SoundCloud, I believe too, which is just
who the fuck goes on SoundCloud?
Well, because that was last, because there was people that didn't have streaming services.
Mumble rappers.
Like, how do I listen to this? So
why not a Bandcamp then?
There was something with Bandcamp, and we looked into that, but they have some sort of distribution thing as well, just like Distro Kid does, who we went through. So we were just like, you know what? Let's just leave it on here. They started saying something about distribution, and we went, okay, never mind, forget it. We might look into that later. Really, we just need to make CDs like, normal people.
Well, dude, I mean, you can sell that stuff through Bandcamp. That's why I'm getting to this. So it's not a distro thing. It's literally like, for the DIY musician, you can go on Bandcamp, you sell it digitally, you can have your t-shirts there. They just take a percentage of the physical, or not the physical stuff, the digital stuff. They do not take physical.
Your t-shirts and merch, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we
So
went through Distro Kit already, and so we're gonna go with that, and then I think we're just gonna do CDs now, and then we'll look into vinyl if actually if the CDs do really well, we'll look into vinyl. Vinyl's really
That's
expensive to manufacture, by the way. I looked into it. It's way more
oh,
expensive than I thought it was.
and
But
there's usually a good weight too.
yeah,
yeah, I saw that too, that it was I think we were looking at like July or August before we would get any vinyl, where
yep,
CDs they're like 6 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is there's a like stop making the machines or something to fucking make the vinyl, which I never understood if there's such a high demand for it. But it is what
Well,
it is, right?
there was a time like in the mid '90s when there wasn't a high demand for it.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? So they stopped
Yeah,
making them. They just got to catch
true.
back up.
Yeah, it's only
You
taken them a
know.
decade, but
And
we'll
by the
get into
time
that.
by the time they get caught back up, vinyl will be out of flavor again.
You
It'll be like
think? I don't
eight
know, man.
tracks or something.
I think people want physical media still to an extent.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
it might
you're
be
always
eight
going to have
tracks
those
though.
people. Well,
It might be eight tracks
yeah,
by then.
no, because 8 tracks have terrible quality. The vinyl at
Yeah.
least is like the quality's good, and I think people are, they want to experience music because for a little time because of the downloads and the streaming. I think people kind of lost
What if they
sight of
come
like,
out with an
oh,
eight track that sounds really good?
well, it would suck
Technology, you know.
because it would. Yeah, but it would go out halfway through the fucking song, and who wants that? So
I've had
to
that happen.
disprove your
And
theory
hey,
there, I know how an 8
as
track
a
works.
kid, if you wanted to listen to a song over again on an 8 track, you had to drive around the block 4 or 5 times, man, because there was no rewinding that motherfucker. And you
Well,
got really strategic with it too, because you could know where a certain part of a song on track 3 would hit like that lyric. And now if I change it to track 1, I got the song I really want to hear. You get really good with 8 tracks as a
well,
kid, man. I'm
yeah,
telling
but you might have some validity to that. I just don't think it's gonna be a huge craze like the
No,
vinyl thing is
no,
because
I'm kidding, Tanner. I'm being funny.
because it's like going to the movies. I always equivalent it to like people still like to experience going to the fucking movies. Yet they even if they have the convenience of doing it at their own house, right?
Yep.
AKA the
Hey,
streaming MP.
Justice
So
League this last weekend.
I'm just saying though, man, I think you're always
Yeah.
going to have some sort of demand for physical media. So as Chris is saying, if you do the vinyl, I want a copy. I'll purchase a
Yeah.
copy. So, and hopefully you have a physical store by then to sell those copies through, like a Bandcamp. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanner
Possibly.
Tanner should work for Bandcamp if he sells them so much.
I know. What do you have a marketing job there now, Tanner? You're really pushing Bandcamp.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
It
Don't tell
really is the
anybody.
best deal for bands if you own your own music.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dude. So Chris, what do you got coming up as far as music goes? What can you tell us about all your musical projects? Is there a third band that I don't know of now?
No. 2 is enough. It's everything else. My life is basically music or video production. So
Right on.
I got to get back into video production because that's really the only thing that pays my bills. Quite honestly, music never has. So
What kind
I
of
only do it for pure love.
That's right.
Chris? Are you doing music videos or are you working on a show or
I pretty much do marketing videos for
Okay.
music instrument companies. So I do a lot for Waves Audio, who makes software plugins for recording.
Yeah.
I've done stuff for Roland, Apogee, Seymour Duncan.
So you're usually busy in January around NAMM time, then, huh?
Actually, before that, because they want it done
Yeah, before
quite a
NAMM,
bit
yeah.
before. Yeah. Of course, this
Makes sense.
year there was nothing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it sucked. I
yeah.
tried to look at some of the online stuff, and it was fucking boring.
Yeah, I didn't even
You
go on
can't-
there.
You can't replace that shit with fucking online stuff. I need booze and fucking freaks and people running around. It's not NAMM.
Well, NAMM isn't even about the gear so much. It's more about the experience and the
Seeing people from all over the country that
relationships.
I don't get to see.
Yeah. It's a relationship building. That's really the important part of it. People sell things, there's the sales guys behind the scenes and they're doing their thing, or they should be, they're selling to,
Or trying.
yeah, so Sweetwater's there, Guitar Center's there, and they're trying to sell them their new stuff and how many are you going to take and that kind of thing. But I've worked NAMM for too many years for different companies that I work for, different audio companies. But
yeah. Well, you know what? I used to get sick of it, and I fucking missed it this year. Tell you the truth. So
I didn't mind taking this year off.
You only miss something once it's gone, man.
Yeah. I think if it was gone for 2 or 3 years, I would start to be like, okay, I want to go back. But 1 year off, that was the first year I haven't gone in 20 years, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah. It's been like 11 for me. This is the first year I've gone like 11, except for the year I got sick. I still went one day.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, man, well, dude, Chris, thanks so much again for coming on the show and hanging with us. We greatly appreciate
you. Guys got
I loved it.
Any plans to do some live shows in the second part of the year or what?
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed
any
that.
Live shows once all this COVID shit gets lifted?
Yeah.
You guys will play live?
Yeah. We're looking at some outside stuff right now, actually. There's a few.
Cool.
There's a venue in Orange County, I believe, that's still doing some outside stuff. I think the Doll Hut's still doing some outside.
Doll Hut, they've been playing shows right now.
Yeah.
And then Stages is starting to open up right now.
Yeah. I got my first vaccine shot today. So it made me almost excited, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel kind of feeling. So it was kind of nice. And that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, this is the first step to live shows again. You know what I mean? I get that's probably not everybody's thought that was down there getting those shots today, but
it was yours.
I think, yeah. And I think that's what it's going to be. You know, it's like once it all kind of happens and, you know, it's going to start. It's still, I think our summer is still going to be outside only for the most part is my guess, but I'm hoping, you know, by the new year, we should see.
I have tickets to Psychofest, so I hope it's inside outside. Well, Vegas is all pretty much open anyway now. Remember, that city doesn't give a shit. I just hope Merciful Fate doesn't cancel. And then Tanner, you have a show coming up in about a month with Void Vader at Stages, right?
That's correct, May 1st. So make sure you go check
Might as
it
well
out.
Promote that.
Absolutely. You know? If you want to see some heavy live music that'll kick your face in, come see Madrost Stages.
Yeah,
May 1st.
With Void Vader, who's releasing some really catchy music right now too. All right,
our first show back too.
We've reached a point in the show where we must say goodbye.
That's right.
And we're gonna do it with the track from Eldon, Goodbye. And after that, we're gonna play the brand new White Wizard track, Viral Insanity, that got released yesterday, because they're gonna be our guests next Thursday. And with that, Chris, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And this is Goodbye on
Razor Radio.